Well, hi, this is Ellen Walker.
And I'm Andy Velkoff.
And you're here with us at the famous Computer Cafe. Lucky you. Anyway, today, and as usual, we're going to be talking about the world of personal computers with interviews. Who are we interviewing today, Andy?
Well, we have John Shirley. He's the president of Microsoft, and he's got a lot of interesting things to say.
Ah, he works with the Whiz Kid, huh?
That's right, with Bill Gates.
We also have a review. I'll be reviewing Archon today, which is put out by Electronic Arts.
That's a game, isn't it?
Yeah, it's like a combination of a board game and an arcade game. It's very interesting.
We also have our famous Computer Cafe giveaway where you can win a new Commodore computer or dinner for two, so you want to stay tuned for that.
Make sure and write your letters in for that, and we'll be right back after this message.
Word gets around fast.
Word from Microsoft is quickly becoming the word processing program of choice because Word is faster and easier. Most commands are executed in a single keystroke, and with Microsoft's mouse, not even a keystroke is needed. Just point and click.
Would you like to reword that?
Sure. If you've ever had to search through a 50-page document to change one word, you can appreciate Word's ability to search out and replace any character, number, word, or phrase in any document, just once or as many times as you like.
Windows on the Word.
Word gives you 8 windows that allows you to edit or compare different documents simultaneously, or work on different areas of the same document, all in one display.
Get the Word.
Word is available at Software Supermarket, 16200 Hawthorne Boulevard, or call 213-207-1494. That's 213-207-1494.
Get the Word.
At Software Supermarket, a soft sell dealer.
As our way of thanking all our new listeners here at the famous Computer Cafe, we're giving away a free Commodore 64 computer and a dinner for two at one of the loveliest restaurants in all of Los Angeles, just in time for the holidays.
And all you need to do is send us a card with your name, address, phone number, and the name and the type of personal computer you currently own or would like to own. Send all this information to the famous Computer Cafe giveaway. 1322 2nd Street, Suite 24, Santa Monica, California, 90401. That's the famous Computer Cafe giveaway, 1322 2nd Street, Suite 24, Santa Monica, California, 90401.
We'll be putting all the cards in a hat and drawing 2 winners, which we'll announce on the air on December 17th. First prize, a brand new Commodore 64 computer. Second prize will be dinner for two at one of LA's favorite restaurants. So send your entries today to the famous Computer Cafe giveaway, 1322 2nd Street, Suite 24, Santa Monica, California, 90401.
Enter today.
Hi, this is Andy Velkoff, and we're here at the famous Computer Cafe. We have a guest today, John Shirley, who's the president of Microsoft Corporation up in Bellevue, Washington. And John, I wonder if you could give us a sense about, Microsoft and its place in the industry and really how it sees itself and its contribution to the world of personal computing.
Okay, Microsoft is one of the oldest, or perhaps the oldest company in the microcomputer business. We started off in the language business with the first basic language for micro, which has become almost a universal product used on almost all of the microcomputers sold throughout the world. We went from that into operating systems. We provide the operating system to the IBM personal computer and the compatible computers. But you might say that we're a company in a sort of transition at this point, having moved from those businesses which are sort of non-retail, invisible businesses, into the world of retail sold application software. And we think that a lot of our future will lie in retail application software.
Well, I know there's a movement. There's a movement in the industry to show people that computing is much more accessible than they ever dreamed it could be. That the hardware and the software, as a matter of fact, the industry has become really software oriented in many ways. That if you talk to any computer consultant, they'll say, well, look at what you want to do, look at the software that you would need to do that particular thing, and that's really where your orientation should be. Could you give me a sense about what Microsoft is doing in the area of opening up software and making it the whole computer, personal computer revolution accessible to people?
Certainly. We are great believers in the fact that the current way in which people interact with computers, we call the human interface, is at a rather early stage of its development, and it's not intuitive, it's not natural, and it's not easy. It makes products harder to use than they should be, and certainly makes them harder to learn than they should be. And we believe that there are certain things that need to happen in the software world to improve that. We are very strong believers in what we call the graphical user interface, which is the use of high-resolution graphics on the screen to make the software interact with the user in a much more natural manner. And this takes many shapes. It takes the shapes of using icons, symbols to represent things that you do frequently. It represents having menus of options that are not seen on the screen except when you ask for them to be there. It means trying to prompt ahead and tell the user what are the most likely options that he would use at some point in using the software. And we feel that this is a necessary thing that has to happen if we're going to broaden the base of users, because each month the group of people who buy computers tend to be people that know less about them than the people who bought them the month before, probably are somewhat more afraid of them than the people the month before. So that this whole improvement in how people communicate with their machines has to be improved a great deal if we're going to continue the spread of the personal computer.
Well, I know that Microsoft has been doing a lot of work in creating programs for the Apple Macintosh. Could you give me a sense about what's happening in that area?
Yeah, the Macintosh represents the first embodiment in hardware of the things that I was talking about, of a graphical user interface, and additionally the use of a pointing device, in their case a mouse, a device that allows you to point at things on the screen as a technique of selecting or identifying things, which is a very natural thing to do. I mean, you have a tendency to want to point at something with your finger. This gives you a way to do that on the screen, if you would. We're great believers that the Macintosh is a giant step forward in making machines easier to use. And because of that, we've written a lot of application software for the Macintosh, more at this point than any other company. And we feel that the Macintosh is already the most successful personal computer ever introduced, and that it's going to become a very ubiquitous product over the next few years.
Okay, well, we're going to take a break right now, and when we come back, I think we'd like to talk a little bit about what some of those applications are and what some of that software is. This is Andy Velkoff here with John Shirley, president of Microsoft, and you're here at the famous Computer Cafe. Stay tuned, folks. We'll be back in a minute.
Everybody's cruising. Everybody's cruising.
Bank Street Writer by Broderbund is the one-word processing program that is unpretentious enough to be used at home by both children and adults, yet is sophisticated enough to meet most small business needs, too. Bank Street Writer is packed with powerful features that have made it the most popular home word processing program in the world. There are no complex codes to memorize. Directions are at the top of the screen every step of the way. Bank Street Writer gives you sophisticated features like automatic word wrap, universal search and replace, automatic centering, and easy storage and retrieval of anything you write, complete with password protection. Bank Street Writer also comes complete with a special tutorial on the back of the disk that teaches the basics of word processing. A comprehensive reference manual and free backup disk are also included. Want to try your hand at Bank Street Writer? Then follow your feet down to Strictly Software at 14617 Prairie Avenue in Lawndale. Or you can call 213-970-1242. Strictly Software, a soft sell dealer. If Lotus had given you just one,
A spreadsheet that's up to 50 times faster than other spreadsheets, with every statistical and financial formula you'll ever need, and the largest workspace on the market.
that would have been enough. And if Lotus had given you just two,
2. Information management, to store and organize information with the ability to cross-index over 2,000 records by 32 criteria, and use information from other programs and computer systems.
that would have been enough. And if Lotus had given you just three,
3. Graphics, to graph information from your spreadsheet in less than 2 seconds, and change that information, touch a key, and graph the new results instantly. Graphics as a thinking tool.
that would have been enough.
But Lotus has given you more. Text editing, tutorials, a help key, and a host of features which give Lotus 123 its power and simplicity.
Lotus 123 is available at the Software Spot, 10977 Santa Monica Boulevard in West Los Angeles. Or phone 213-477-7561. That's 213-477-7561.
The Software Spot, the oldest independently owned and operated software store in Los Angeles. A soft sell dealer.
Okay, we're back. This is Andy Velkoff, and we are here at the famous Computer Cafe, and we've been talking with John Shirley, who's the president of Microsoft. John, you've been talking a little bit about what Microsoft is doing in connection with the Macintosh, and we've been talking about making software applications that are much more accessible to people. What are some of the applications that Microsoft is introducing, and what are you most excited about?
There are three products that seem to be, in productivity software, seem to be required to be available for any computer for it to be a success. And the three products are a good word processing product, a good electronic filing or database management product, and a spreadsheet of some sort. And then following that, there's products to do graphic output, such as a program to do charting, which would normally interact with a spreadsheet. We've gone after all four of those applications. We feel that the way the Macintosh works, the strongest advantage that you have past the user interface is a marvelous capability to have these applications talk to each other in a very natural, simplistic, and easy way, so that you can create, you can put some data into the product we call Multiplan, create a spreadsheet, have that automatically create a chart, and then you can put that chart inside of a letter that you send to someone. Doing that in any other with any other personal computer today is really virtually an impossibility, because they're simply not based on having graphics capabilities as much as they are based in sort of the old-fashioned world of just dealing with one character at a time, and the idea of embedding pictures into a document, or, for example, embedding pictures into your database product. We have an example, sort of a demonstration, where we file house plans, actual drawings of the floor plan of houses that are available for sale within the product we call File for the Macintosh. So I think that, while the question of which application do we like is a good question, we really feel we've sort of got to the point that all of them working together, so you can choose the ones that meet your needs, have them work together, is really what we feel we've accomplished with the machine.
We're going to take a little break here, and when we come back, John, I'm going to ask you, where do you see the future of this whole thing going? Where's the industry going, and how does Microsoft see itself in the next 2, 3, 4, 5 years? You're listening to the famous Computer Cafe. This is Andy Velkoff, and we've been talking with John Shirley. We'll be back after this message. Stay tuned, folks.
Whether today is your first day at the famous Computer Cafe, or you're a real regular who hangs out every night at the Space Bar here, you can't help but see that this joint is jumping. And if it looks busy to our customers, you can imagine what's going on behind the scenes. absolute craziness. So we're looking for some help. Before the end of the year, we're planning on hiring people to assist us in running the Famous Computer Cafe. We're looking for part-time, full-time, and freelance people who are bright and energetic. You must have a passionate interest in personal computers, but you don't have to be a technical wizard. You must be able to write, review products, or sell advertising, or any combination of the above. And you must contact us in some way. So get out your pen and I'll tell you how. First of all, you can call or write. If you're interested in a sales position, call me, Ellen, at 213-394-7242. That's 394-7242. If you're interested in writing or reviewing products, then please write to me, Ellen, at the Famous Computer Cafe, 1322 2nd Street, Suite 24, Santa Monica, California, 90401. That's 1322 2nd Street, Suite 24, Santa Monica, California, 90401. Make sure to include a writing sample and a resume. The cafe is a great place to eat and an even better place to work, so call or write today.
Start with the world's best-selling database system. Give it enhanced features to make it faster, more powerful, and easier to use, and you have the makings of a software heavyweight. DBase 3, Ashton Tate's hot new package for your 16-bit PC. With DBase 3, you can create records with up to 128 fields, access 10 files at once, and run other programs like communications or word processing without leaving DBase 3. You can read non-DBase files from other software programs or mainframe databases. And you can easily convert your DBase 2 files and programs to DBase 3. If you get stuck, help is at your fingertips with multiple help screens. And where do you go to see this powerful new program? Go see David and Betty Sun at Sun Computers in the city of Carson. They'll tell you what you need to know about DBase 3 and more. Sun Computers is located at 20925 South Bonita in Carson. Or call 213-538-8338. That's 213-538-8338. Sun Computers in Carson, a soft cell dealer.
The ability to not have to worry about the hours and hours of retyping. And I mean, I remember when I was a kid and first doing my first reports, I was more concerned with if I have any typos in the thing than what the content really was. And it seems that the ability of computers to help people handle the practical tedious tasks, give them now an opportunity to express their creativity and to some extent communicate with one another more effectively.
Oh, I'd agree with that 100%. There's certainly the capability to know that you're not constrained in editing and correcting and even rearranging a total thing that you've created gives you a great deal of freedom in writing. You no longer have to, typewriting is a difficult thing if it's something that you don't do well. Doing the same thing on a computer is an exceedingly easy thing because your mistakes are correctable with just a few seconds of work, and you can create an output that looks that can be sort of stylized to whatever you want it to look like. And if you don't like it, you can change it very quickly and get it to look like something else. And these are things that simply denied to you on the typewriter. Then if you start to go beyond that and you say, I have a communications capability with this machine, and I want to get some outside information that I need to use in the work that I'm doing, that will become a very simple thing of simply pointing at the name of a database. It'll be called up. You'll be able to go through and extract information that you want, and bring that information right into a document or a report that you're working on. And I think that this is something that this computer literate generation is understanding and are going to push to have that kind of availability of information.
So in a sense, some of the most exciting things, I mean, we have the technology and we have the hardware and the software, but really some of the most exciting things that are happening are on the human level in terms of human creativity and human communication and human knowledge. People being able to do these things with all of this technology at their fingertips.
Oh, absolutely. I think certainly we don't need a lot of technological improvement in hardware. We need I think we need to continue to improve the software to make it easier and more intuitive for people to use. And I think we need to find ways to let them use the machines for communications between each other and communications between repositories of data that exist in enormous quantities in the United States, where virtually every piece of data that has ever been created now is existent in electronic form, either in a word processor or in a database someplace in this country.
Wow. Well, that sounds like a topic for a whole other show. We probably can get into that. John, this has been a real pleasure. I appreciate you coming down here to the famous Computer Cafe and taking the time and talking with us. And, you know, as things develop, we'd love to have you back on the show. If you have the time to do it, I'd like to ask you back. John Shirley, President of Microsoft, thanks a lot.
Thank you very much, Henry.
Okay, folks, stay tuned. We'll be right back after this. You're at the famous Computer Cafe. Stay tuned.
Today I'd like to discuss Multiplan by Microsoft.
What's a multiplan?
It's a spreadsheet program for your IBM PC or your Macintosh.
Well, what do you do with a multiplan?
Use it to make forecasts.
Oh, you mean like what the weather will be?
No, more like whether or not.
Oh, can I join multiplan?
No, you don't join it, silly. You use it. It's a tool designed with non-computer people in mind to help you manage your business and plan for the future.
A tool? Oh, you mean like a hammer?
Well, if you're looking for a way to hit the nail on the head, use Multiplan to build your worksheet. Enter the formulas you normally use to do budgets or cash flow analysis or financial planning, and then let Multiplan do the calculations while you sit back and watch.
Well, where can I see it?
At Software Center International, located at 22543 South Hawthorne Boulevard in Torrance, or call 213-378-9225. That's 213-378-9225. Software Center International, a soft cell dealer.
For those of you who are bored with board games, have I got a game for you. This is Ellen in the Review Corner. Archon, distributed by Electronic Arts and written by Ann Westphal, John Freeman, and Paul Reike III, is an incredible board game. It combines the strategy of chess with the high-speed action of the finest arcade games into one fascinating game. You can either play alone against the computer or against another player. The concept of the game centers around the time-honored conflict between good and evil. In Archon, there is the side of good, the light, and the side of evil, the dark. Each side has its own pawns. The light has knights, and the dark has goblins. Each side has its own king. The light, of course, has a kindly old wizard, while the knight has an evil sorceress. Each side also has its own more powerful pieces, or icons as they are called. The light has 2 unicorns, a genie, 2 golems, 2 valkyries, a phoenix, and 2 Amazonian archers, of course. The dark has a similar array of icons. 2 basilics, those are wolf-like creatures with a deadly gaze. 2 banshees, screaming of course. 2 manticores, those are small lions with spiked tails. 2 trolls, a doppelganger, and a fire-breathing evil dragon. What game is complete without a fire-breathing evil dragon? The board is identical to that of a chessboard, except unlike a chessboard where a square is either white or black, the Archon board squares are constantly changing their colors from dark to light, with black and white as the extremes. Unlike chess, where pieces merely have to move to an occupied square to capture an opposing piece, Archon icons must earn the victory through battle. The different icons have different weapons and forms of attack. Some wield swords and clubs, others cast fireballs, and others shoot arrows. Whoever proves the better player will ultimately retain the square as well as the icon. Now, not only must a player have quick reflexes in a fight, but he must also avoid confrontations on a hostile square. A hostile square is one that's colored opposingly. A character fighting on a hostile square is more easily defeated than one on his own colored square. Sort of like, being on the home court. The magic-using leaders of the light and the dark sides, the wizard and the sorceress, have spells that they can cast on the numerous icons on the board. They can imprison an opposing icon, they can teleport one of their own icons, they can revive a captured icon, and they can even heal a hurt icon. but none of these spells will function on one of the 4 power points located at the 4 edges of the board. These power points are represented by a normal square with a flashing white circle in it. At the start of the game, the wizard occupies the power point on his side and the sorceress the point on her side, thus making them immune to one another as well as making that point very difficult to capture. The object of the game is to beat your opponent by either capturing all of his icons or by placing one of your icons on each power point until you control all 4. If this all sounds a little involved, it is. The best way I can sum up Archon is that it has all the basic requirements, though, of a great computer game. It's easy to learn, but it's very difficult to master. This has been Ellen in the Review Corner at the Famous Computer Cafe, and now it's your move.
SuperCalc 3 by Sourcem is a spreadsheet that's extremely easy to use, swift, and powerful, and it's priced lower than most other leading spreadsheet programs. SuperCalc 3 has all the built-in functions expected in a high-quality spreadsheet, and a lot more. SuperCalc 3's features include an on-screen help function, spreadsheet consolidation and sorting capabilities, calendar and date calculations, simple data management, functions, and windowing. The integrated graphics capability is superbly presented, allowing plotting and printing of charts in up to 99 colors. SuperCalc 3 provides you with the ability to create pie charts, bar charts, line charts, and XY graphs. The graphics are integrated into the command structure, so once you learn SuperCalc 3, plotting and graphing the results of your calculations is as easy as pie. To get a taste of the simplicity and power of SuperCalc 3, walk into Simply Software, where they'd love to whip up a quick demonstration. Simply Software is located at 3001 Sepulveda Boulevard in Manhattan Beach, or call 213-546-2467. That's 213-546-2467. Simply Software, a soft sell dealer.
We'd like to thank everyone that helped make this show possible. John Shirley of Microsoft.
And we want to thank Evan Stein, who helped us do the review of Archon, as well as Rick Burnett, our engineer. The Famous Computer Cafe is brought to you every day, Monday through Friday, at 10 in the morning and 7:30 p.m.
The Famous Computer Cafe is a production of Soft TV Inc. Executive producers Michael Walker, Ellen Walker, and Andrew Velkoff.
That's us. Anyway, thanks for joining us, and we hope you join us again tomorrow.
Take care.